Millions of African Americans have been socially engineered to call themselves niggers. And the programming is so strong that many will now accept any frivolous reasons to continue doing so. First, the white propagandists created the false narrative that we African Americans made the N-word ours. Many of us accepted that false narrative and then started calling ourselves niggers, thus making it our own word. This is what's called a self-fulfilling prophecy. A self-fulfilling prophecy is when people's behaviors aligns with an originally false narrative, thus making it true. Every couple of decades, white propaganda creates and feeds false information into our communities to give us new reasons to continue calling ourselves niggers. Several years back, they created the narrative that changing the spelling to Nigga now empowers us. But that's a lie. Nigger by any spelling is still a downtrodden nigger because the subconscious mind doesn't see the different spelling. The latest propaganda they've spread into our communities is that we should call ourselves niggers, N-E-G-U-S, because it's an ancient Ethiopian word meaning king. However, critically think and look at the following facts. There are, in fact, literally more than 2,000 languages and dialects in Africa, and each one of them have at least 3 words that means king. Given with so many thousands of words in Africa also meaning king, don't you therefore find it suspicious that the only one of them that's being spread throughout our communities is the word niggers? The one that sounds exactly like the original N-word? To believe that this is merely an incredible coincidence is extremely naive. Clearly, the word niggers, N-E-G-U-S, is being deliberately propagated into the black communities to serve a particular agenda. The Ethiopian word of niggers is being misused to keep African Americans functioning under the original spell cast by the original N-word, because the subconscious mind doesn't see the different spelling. To understand why they want to keep us calling ourselves niggers, you have to learn the reason why they socially engineered us to do so in the first place. It's because words have power. Words put a spell upon our subconscious minds. To subjugate and control a targeted population, the first step is to neutralize their alpha males, aka those possessing warrior spirits. These are those males that are psychologically wired to protect their females and to protect their communities. White social scientists neutralized the black alpha males by socially engineering millions of us to identify ourselves as niggers. They did this to us because words, when repeated often enough, have immense power over the subconscious minds. Repeated words shapes our thoughts, and a thought held long enough by words repeated often enough becomes a belief, and a belief then becomes your biology. We psychologically become the words that we repeatedly call ourselves. It's why men that call themselves thugs are more likely to engage in a fight than to avoid one. It's also why women that proclaim themselves as being bitches often become stubbornly unreasonable. Words have power. It's also the reason why 90% of men sagging are also the same ones calling themselves niggers. They sag because they think that they're niggers, and that's just how niggers are supposed to dress. They literally function based upon the narrative that they're niggers. Have you ever noticed that those African Americans who refuse to be called niggers tend to carry themselves with a higher degree of self-respect, and as well as commands more respect from others? We subconsciously function based upon the words we repeatedly call ourselves. It's a psychological phenomenon that white social scientists have thoroughly studied. When we repeatedly call ourselves niggers, this conditions us to perceive ourselves through a false inherent subordinate identity that aids the white society in maintaining its social dominance over us. When we call ourselves niggers, this also separates us from our unifying African heritage. Without having a base identity to connect to our vast cultural wealth, over time, we become further fragmented as a people, and we become weaker as a people. We can then be made into anything the white oppressors wants us to be. Self-identifying ourselves as niggers also psychologically divides us from Native Africans. When Africans are divided globally, we lose our global numerical advantage and loses all hope of defeating global white supremacy. Currently, many black men believe that they are making an impactful statement when they declare that they're real niggers. I'm a real nigger. But these black men are totally ignorant of the fact that white social scientists intentionally attach the term real nigger to black masculinity in order to get black men insisting that they're real niggers. But calling ourselves niggers disconditions us to perceive ourselves through a false, inherent, inferior identity that aids the white society in maintaining its social dominance over black people. White oppressive forces have placed an elaborate negative spell upon the subconscious minds of millions of African Americans with the word niggers. Calling each other nigger, it also causes us to dehumanize each other. This makes it much easier for us to mistreat and even kill each other. This is a fact that the military has known for a very long time. Case, point, and proof. During the Vietnam War, to ease the American soldiers' anxieties about torturing and killing the Vietnamese soldiers, they were taught to refer to them as chinks, gooks, and kongs. This dehumanized them and made it easier to kill and torture them. Case, point, and proof. Have you ever listened closely whenever a black man speaks of a fight he had with another black man? As he presents the detail of the fight, he will say that I hit that nigger, I kicked that nigger, I shot that nigger, etc., etc. The term nigger, that nigger, is actually being used to dehumanize the other black man. If you ask him to retell the details of the fight without using the word nigger, perhaps replacing it with my brother, it will then become psychologically difficult to do so. The more brutal his behavior was, the more difficult it becomes to tell the story. When we assign negative words upon someone, another person, we dehumanize them, which makes it easier to mistreat them. Through negative media social engineering, white oppressive forces have placed an elaborate negative spell upon the subconscious minds of millions of African Americans with the N-word. The white prison industry is filled with many black men that have been programmed to believe that they're real niggers and that other black men are niggers. White social engineering scientists deliberately program us to meet this objective. Side note, this is also the reason why black men that have been socialized to refer to our women as bitches and hoes have a higher tendency to also mistreat our women. Words have power, they dehumanize them. Back to nigger. The nigger media social engineering of African American culture is being reinforced daily through the hip hop industry. White oppressive forces secretly perceive black rappers as being useful idiots. In addition to making lots of money by exploiting them, they use them to negatively steer our culture. It is time to wake up to our reality. The time of believing in dumb shit is over. In the age of information, black ignorance is now a choice. In the age of information, your mental enslavement is now a choice. Start researching social sciences. If you're studying the Bible, believe it's going to save us, if you're believing in Woody Lynch, you're one of the ignorant ones. You're one of the dumbed down, mentally enslaved ones. Our people are so mentally enslaved that telling the truth literally offends millions. But I will speak the truth. Those who know must teach. African proverb.